Ryan Turnbull will be up against the Spider-Man to open proceedings in this history-making game. Won by the athlete Turnbull, pushed down towards the half-forward line, repelled by Mildenhall, but well claimed. Look at the ferocity of that tackling. Peter Wilson holds it up on half-forward. Sun shining brightly. Burton too much height on that occasion. No one able to sneak clear. Eventually it's Ball. Tumbling one down towards full forward. Kemp was going past, so too was Heady. Heady tries to soccer off the ground. And has a free kick. He's been given the football just 15 metres out, but on a very, very tight angle. In his 104th game, not confident, he's looking for options. Sees that they're covered. Go for the check side, Malcolm. Trying to bend it back. First score of the match is a behind.
Now Chisholm to bring it in. Plenty of Dockers up ahead. Chisholm short to the pocket. This is Norrish. Very gentle breeze. Nothing to speak of. Norrish going for distance around the outer side. It falls in short. Matera up. Off hands taken by Burton. Away to Leach. Smothered by Pike, who heads for the boundary line after it. It crosses. The boundary throw in about 70 metres out from the Eagles' attacking goal. Glorious day for football, fine and mild. Looking for a top of 19. Turnbull and Burton, it fell in front. Pike nicely done. Matera hard against the line, hugs the boundary with a kick back inside the 50. Ball, a big leap down there. Off hands, it fell to Kemp. Nicely done. Gets it across to Banfield. First score. It's good. Hit the post. Oh.
Yes, in fact, Drew Banfield is running with Ben Allen, the captain of the Dockers, so that will be a fantastic duel throughout the day.
Two behinds on the board. O'Reilly will bring it back into play. Well, he led Tony Lockett a chase last week, taking him right down the ground, but to Lockett's credit, he kept on chasing. The big flyer was Chisholm, unable to take it cleanly. Simmons now an opportunity to put the Eagles inside 50 once again. Standing his ground, however, and beating Heady was Leach. Comes wide, finds Kickett. Across half-back, and he's going to stay across that half-back line. Finding O'Reilly. He's drifted down. Goes over the top, up towards centre wing, towards Madigan. And he marks in that position. Greg Madigan in his 43rd game is going to put the Dockers into their attacking zone, maybe for the first time. But they zigzag across the ground. Bang! In comes Johnny Worsfold. That's the Worsfold we know, charging at the football. Leach at the back has a chance for the Dockers now. He backpedals slightly, wobbles one off the side of the boot, will go close to the boundary line and in fact over. Worsfold is busy.
Busy? But 15, 20 metres off the ball, he's...
Parker's hurt.
Yeah.
McGovern also caught one. He's picked himself up. Turley. Simmons had it, then lost it. Kemp, likewise, almost had it too long. In fact, he did, said the umpire. Fierce start here at Subiaco. And McGovern will take the free kick.
The defensive side of right centre wing, Andrew McGovern. Worsfold helping people determine which side they're barracking for. As McGovern boots it down towards half forward, Jankovic juggles the mark. Free kick is going Burrows' way. Malcolm made the point before the game. Exciting player. Can kick it a long way. This one more for direction down towards Miller. He's marked about 30 metres out, 45-degree angle. The smallest man on the ground today at 168 centimetres. a chance to kick the first goal. Heady a chance. Banfield hit the post. So in the Western Derby, can Miller do it? It's good. He's a sharpshooter. It's a goal.
So first blood to the Dockers, and there is a bit of noise around this ground for the Dockers side. Pretty good build-up then. John Worsfold sorted out a couple of players with some fair hip and shoulders, and the ball's worked its way forward to Peter Miller. Just one of the veterans of this side. Played a lot of footy in the WAFL. As we watch Burrows receive that free kick, and Miller just read it better than others and kicked very truly.
Dockers by 4 points. Burton charges at the football and he gives it to Waters, who was looking for his captain in Allen. Held, said the umpire. Ben Allen will take the free kick in the middle. Quickly up to half forward. Well, he wanted Burton, but it dropped short, and dropping back to take the mark is Ryan Turnbull. Kicks from half back wide to Wilson. Doesn't let him down. Peter Wilson's away on centre wing. Banfield does the shepherding. Floats it up towards Heady on the 50. Brett Heady gets the hand pass away to Kemp. Was he held? No, said the umpire. We'll have a bounce on the West Coast Eagles 50.
Oh, poor old Parker's having a tough day.
Just a few of the matchup. Banfield on Allen, as I said. Evans on Waters and Pike on Kickett. Those are the three players running through the middle of the ground at the moment.
Garrett, Scroop and Vernon in charge of proceedings today. No one clear. Eventually the ball is sogged out towards Mildenhall, who can come away. Maybe the Dockers can set something up again. Away goes Allen. A couple of bounces across centre wing. They say keep going from 70 metres out. He pops it high up towards full forward. At the back, Fraser Garrick defends for the Eagles. He pushes it wide towards Matera, but he's gone too wide and out on the full.
Jason Norrish. About 75 metres from goal. High ball, well inside the attacking 50. They settle. Fisted forward by Garrick. The ball spills across the boundary line. Miller crashing through. Throw in. And the Dockers have settled nicely. Rucks go at it. In fact, Jakovic gets it down. Pike under pressure. Right near the kickoff line. Jakovic launches a high kick back towards half-back. Matera, terrific. Body to body and beat Norrish. Two speedsters. Matera with the track record down towards the wing. Ball sliding on his knees. Feeds it off. Pike settles. The kick not particularly good. It wobbles down towards half forward. Mildenhall confronted there by Wilson. Turley on the assist got him down. Two club teammates there. Both play for West Perth. Bit of aggro. Mildenhall and Turley slow to separate. Good tackle. Now the bounce will be interesting here. Ruckman need to get fairly close. As you can see, it didn't go very high. Burton gets it down. Free kick going to Turnbull out there, forward of the wing. Ryan Turnbull, fine athlete, kicks inside the 50. Ball comes on the lead. O'Reilly got a timely fist in there. Brilliant pickup by Chisholm. Stops, goes the other way and gets the ball off nicely to Burton.
On half back, kicks up towards centre wing. Simmons chips in. Big day for Winston Abraham. Johnny Worsfold's got him at the moment, and I've been keeping an eye on those two. Jakovic in towards half forward. Burton front spot.
It's a fantastic floating mark across the front of the pack by a 210-centimetre player. Really is exceptional skills.
Away he lopes. McGovern across the ground. And back up on his feet is Parker. Look out, Leach. Twists out of trouble. Look out, Matera will get you.
Yes.
Good tackle by Abraham as well. Kickett gets the hand pass away. McGovern's a chance for the Dockers up towards half forward. Towards the 50. Towards Hutton. Had it for a moment. Couldn't hold the football. Banfield goes in. They come over the top. Maybe a free kick to Drew Banfield.
It's amazing when you try and run and chip this ball like they're going to do, and if Matera's going to run down some players today, isn't he, if they keep holding onto the ball. It's just a fantastic chase from Matera.
He was chasing and grinning, wasn't he?
Yes.
It's come back to McKenna.
I don't think the umpire had called time on. Correct.
He wants to get on with the job. He does from halfback. Towards ball at centre wing. Evans was there also, but Waters gets it out towards Kickett. He does a 360, has a look up towards half forward, and then spots his target in Miller. Short in towards Mann on the half volley, back towards the running Ben Allen. Allen chips it round his body, in towards the 50. McKenna shovels it out, but it's socket off the ground, and held by Garrick. Fraser Garrick will take it, much to the disappointment of Burrows.
Yes, and they're not intimidated at the moment, the Fremantle side, are they? They really are smacking into the footy and the opposition.
Here's Pike. Short, Matera. Almost be 50. It is. So Matera on this side of the ground now. That's interesting. Norris still with him.
Yes, just watching this, and it is unnecessary. There's no need to do that. 50 metres is a correct call. Just slows the game down, that.
So Peter Matera, forward of the wing, down towards left half forward. Kicks out wide. Headies the target. Up he goes in front. Couldn't hang on. It was knocked away down there by Leach. Chisholm paddles it across the boundary line. Kemp was with him. So a throw in right on the attacking 50 now for the West Coast Eagles. We're down by 4 points. Up in front was Turnbull. It fell at their feet. Over the ball, Lewis. Kick it in close attendance. Interesting. A roundhouse right in there from Willow as he tried to punch it out. Whistle and the bounce. Just inside the 50. Turnbull. The crunch at Goldwood. Didn't go very far. Kemp knocked it away. Taken by Norris. Chisholm. Cleverly done. Initially, Kemp came hard. Now Turnbull. Kick it. Keen to make amends there. That hand pass initially directed to him. Wilson on his knees. Got it nicely to Pike, who feeds it back. Matera stayed in. He's about 65 metres out. Looked for Heady. Clean bowled it.
Leach takes advantage. Look out. He got the hand pass away, but it goes in towards the centre, and Drew Banfield, he rides the Winston Abraham bump, and there's Abraham's opponent, Worsfold, up towards half forward. The Dockers again, however, sprint clear. Kickett gets it away towards Allen. Allen sockers off the ground. It comes over the centre. Winston Abraham beats Worsfold, but then loses it. Worsfold follows it up. He does well to left half forward, but the kick is wide, too wide for Kemp, and over the boundary line.
I'd suggest that last minute and a half of play has dictated the game already, that the Eagles will not let them run through the middle, and some of the chasing from has been fantastic, and the pressure. It is really going to be a dour game of footy at this stage.
Burton and a Turnbull contest. Kemp, Chisholm, and a throw-in. Left half forward flank. West Coast 2 behinds. Fremantle have 1 goal on the board. Kicked by Peter Miller. And we have just over 10 minutes of this first quarter remaining. Wilson on the flank. Tries soccer tactics. It ricochets out of bounds on the full. And either Wilson or Kemp are going to have a chance to bring it back in. It will be Peter Wilson who will kick deep into attack for the West Coast Eagles and may fancy himself, who knows.
Yes, he's going to have to jump the fence shortly to kick this football if the umpire pushes him around too far.
He's going to be kicking from just outside 50. Well, he takes a leaf out of the Dockers book and he backpedals to Don Pike, who was loose back towards the middle. He floats one up towards half forward. Jason Ball, however, well beaten. And Stephen O'Reilly will take it at half back.
Told to play on now, O'Reilly. Doesn't know that initially. Drives it towards the outer side. Milden Hall's in front. Turley. A better recovery, Turley. Gets back on the loose ball just outside half forward. Kicks inside the 50. Heady drifting back has taken his mark within scoring range. Pretty tight angle. About 35 metres out.
Yeah, it's a great lesson there, Dennis, that to Milden Hall going back like that. If you're in trouble, as we watch that kick go forward then, but if you're in trouble, punch it rather than try and tap it over the back and give yourself some space to chase. And it was just a real little lesson there for that young fella. He could have actually knocked it out of bounds rather than give Turley the opportunity to kick it to Heady.
Brett Heady, 11 goals this season, goalless last week. This for the lead. It's a beauty.
Brett Heady, as Dennis mentioned, 11 goals for the season. He has been a bit inconsistent in his goal scoring. That Stephen O'Reilly kick. This is where Mildenhall really just need to tap it, to punch it rather than try and keep it in the area, clear the area. And a great kick from under pressure by Turley. And Brett Heady, as we do know, has had some great starts in first quarters with numerous goals on many occasions.
Now the Eagle chant goes up as we have a bounce in the middle. Wonderful atmosphere here at Subi. Burton beaten. McGovern tries to get through and eventually does. Just 2 goals scored in this match today. Worsfold and Winston. Matera held. Turley plays on, kicks towards half forward, towards Dean Kemp. Also there is Jason Ball and Peter Wilson. Neither can take it. Chisholm heads towards the boundary line. And a throw-in will take place almost down to centre wing.
You just get the feeling, Sandy, this game is being played at the Eagles' tempo at the moment. It's the tempo they like.
Eagles bench, no Peter Sumich, of course. He played yesterday in the local comp. Kicked 5, looking to get back into form.
Saw that game, he played well too.
Simmons, just forward of centre. Eagles by 2 points. In towards half forward, but all Dockers and O'Reilly. It marks uncontested.
So the fullback sizing up the options. In the bright sunshine, drives it towards midfield. Big pack at the fall of the ball, clears them. Wilson, first back, he's got some company, played it pretty well, deflected it to Jakovic. Jakovic throws it on the bit inside the 50. Heady with great courage, and Chisholm perhaps could have come harder. He centres it. Evans running into an open goal, gets it.
Second goal to the Eagles, and it is the way they play their football. They continually just harass, put some pressure on, and really just force errors. And Stephen O'Reilly with his kicking, he's done twice now, and it's cost 2 goals. His option on kicking hasn't been fantastic, and Heady's found 2 chest marks virtually by himself. But it really is that constant pressure. They do man up, and Evans run on beautifully for a goal. And he, of course, is following Waters around. So really the emphasis now back on the Fremantle side to lift and recover.
The Eagles chant goes up. The margin is 8 points. Waters trying to win it out of the centre for the Dockers. Pushes it wide in front of Mildenhall. With him is Turley. Mildenhall has a possession. Back towards Scott Waters. He's on centre wing. Kicks up towards the 50. They need a mark. Burrows was the high flyer. Couldn't take it, however, and Hart should tidy up. He's got players screaming for it. One is John Worsfold. Here comes Winston, and he's got him. White gets him. Hutton tries to soccer off the ground, but it goes straight to Hart. Good shepherding by Simmons takes out Abraham. Kicks towards centre wing, and a strong mark taken by Norris. Some very solid competition from Peter Matera. Norris stands his ground. Just forward of centre, kicks in towards half forward, but no one at home, and just floating across was Guy McKenna. Does it nicely to Hart, and the Eagles are out of trouble.
Turley has to stretch. That was paid. He was a bit lucky. Came out pretty quickly. Turley towards the wing. Now Turnbull wants to make it a foot race. Can he? He controls it pretty well. Too nimble out there for the big man Burton. Hooks it down towards the 50. Heady, great courage. Marvellous mark. Lewis heads back towards the square. That's the direction the kick takes. Parker in close attendance tries to knock away. Finessing Lewis. One of the goals of the season? No. Rush the post on the way through. Not the one the umpire was thumping. I'm sure it was the near one. A little brush with fate. Watch it again. Lewis in front. Makes something out of nothing here. Behind.
9 points the margin. O'Reilly brings it in to Chisholm. Burton can sprint clear. The galloping hat rack is away. In towards the middle.
You've used that before. It wasn't him.
Hear them every now and again. Gilbert's kick towards the half-forward line. Hart defends. Wobbling one. Back towards Tony Evans. He's beaten a chance now for the Dockers. Man to get the hand pass away. Fraser Garrick uses the body. Gilbert's in there to try and get it out, but it's McKenna who floats it high. Back towards centre wing once again. Dockers have the numbers. Kick it is clear. Centres it in towards the middle of the ground. Matera waits at the back and he's got good support. Jakovic, he's got to put it hard to this somewhat spongy turf to get an effective bounce. Play on is called as Jakovic kicks towards full forward. And what a mark, what a start to this game by him. Just sensational.
Yes, what more can you say, as they say? And Jakovic did extremely well, and his protection off the ball was great. That was two committed players there, and just one got his hands out in front of the other. Fantastic mark from Brett Heady. And once again, you can just sense this pressure from the Eagles, just creating some problems across the Dockers half-forward line, and hence some opportunities up forward for them.
And that's probably the story of this man's career. Almost too much courage for his own good. He was very lucky there.
This for his second. Directly in front and just 25 metres out, he makes no mistake.
Yes, Brett Heady 2 goals. I've seen him do this many times, particularly on this ground for some reason, that he's a multiple goal kicker and can kick them early in the game. He seems to be fired up, and Dennis said very, very committed. Here's all this fantastic work off the ball from both Worsfold and Matera, and that was sensational kick. It's gone 65, 70 metres and pinpoint perfect in the end, but not without the courage of Brett Heady to accommodate that great kick.
Under 5 minutes till quarter time, and suddenly the Eagles are out by 15 points. Allen, was he held without it? Not according to the umpire. Wrestled down by Hart and a whistle, so Heady's got 2 of the 3. The West Coast Eagles. Miller got the first goal of the game after the Eagles started with a behind and a poster. For those keeping records, the first time, one of each right there. Hines goes up, knocks it down. Pike tries to knock it on. This is Milden Hall. Back to Miller. On the wing, kicks it down towards half forward. Man's in front, beaten by the ball. Jakovic, who's doing well. Sweeping hand pass out wide, taken by Pike. Back to Jakovic. So often we've seen that. Very high kick around the outer side. Oh! Oh! This man is inspired. Heady. Head and shoulders, knees and feet above the pack. What a mark. He goes down towards half forward in front. Missed by Kemp. Putting his body in Lewis. Well done. Knocks it Goldwood. Standing in the road is Kickett. A high kick back towards the middle. Worsfold. Oh, great mark. Winston tries to come down hard. Worsfold on his knees meantime. Off to Pike. Pike's away inside the 50. And the mark is held by Hines, who flirts with the idea of moving on. Watch it again.
Oh, that is special. That is absolutely special, and he really has inspired that forward line. There has been some criticism of it, Dennis, but I mean, he really has sparked them up today.
I've got a question for you. How does that feel? Doing something like that. Sandy and I never did it.
Yeah, well, it's good, but it's the memory is fading, I can assure you.
So here's Hines. Kicks. It's another goal. Dockers have some problems.
Yes, indeed they do. The Dockers do have some problems, and it really just comes from this incessant pressure, and most sides in the AFL have felt this, and I can assure you, being on the end of it a couple of times in the most important games of the season, it is quite a frustration coaching. Now, Jared Neesham really has the test here to decide how to try and break this up. Just a little bit of change to the game plan, or continue with it and persevere and learn something from the game.
21 points the margin here at Subi. And the Eagles machine grinding on in this first quarter with some spectacular play.
Super jump.
Especially from Brett Heady. Burton and Hines.
The good thing about those sort of marks is that it ensures someone like Craig Turley a place in history, doesn't it?
It's sitting underneath them.
Yes.
Yes, they're always famous.
Knee on the shoulder.
Jerker Jenkins. Past Leach on centre wing. Simmons working hard. Turley into the assist. Gets around Abraham. To half forward. There he is again. Can't take it. Norris and Matera. Oh, that is skill from Matera. And then they sandwich him and crunch him.
This would be the quickest side that the Fremantle side's played so far. Everyone forgets how quick the Eagles are.
He's got Banfield loose if he wants him and short, but no. He's now covered and he'll
just kick it somewhere near Heady.
He's going to. And there is Brent Heady. Can't pick it up on the half volley quite. He's got to pick himself up. And a throw in. Left half forward flank. Matera also coming into this lineup when there was a huge question mark over him. And he said he wouldn't take his place. Hines had it and then lost it. Here is Matera scouting the boundary line. Only as far as Chisholm, however, towards Leach across half back. Now can they start something here? They desperately need a goal. Milden hauls away. Banfield gives chase. Goes towards Peter Mann and he marks on centre wing. Just over a minute remaining in this first quarter. Mann heads towards Hutton on the 50-metre line. Can't take the mark. Worsfold has outpointed Abraham. Tunnel balls it straight out the back door. Off the ground by Ben Allen is away to the left and one behind. Well, that's their first score for some considerable time.
Here's the matchup to the Eagles. Jakovic standing tall. White doing a terrific job on Hutton. He really pulls him underneath the ball.
Margin 20 points. Burrows in from the side of Simmons. Comes behind the pair. Simmons held without it surely by Scott Waters. And a free kick. We'll go to Simmons at half back. They're running well. Here's Worsfold peeling off. Goes down towards half forward. Kick. Leaders in the clear. Oh, Chisholm did very well. Great closing speed. Crashing in was Evans towards the boundary. Matera. Across it goes and a boundary throw in. 4-3-27 to 1-1-7. 40 seconds to go to quarter time. A new look Subiaco Oval. Marvellous. In front Hines. Juggles it. Gets it off to Evans who props. Buried immediately. Kemp slaps it out. Matera 60 metres from goal and closing. It's for home, out of bounds on the full in the pocket. Matera has started very well. Former South Fremantle player. Interesting to note, only 3 East Fremantle or South Fremantle players in the Dockers team today. Jared Neesham played 9 games for the Sydney Swans under Ricky Quaid back in the 80s. Gilbert out of the back pocket. Kicks outside the defensive 50. Madigan got a hand to it. Waters left without the ball. Goes back after it now. And we're down to 15 seconds. And we have a bounce. $60 metres out from goal. The last action of the term. Evans in trouble. Wait for the siren. Matera gets the kick off. So at quarter time at Subiaco Oval, power from that man. And that man, a spectacular mark. Jared Neesham has got some problems. Heady has booted 2 goals, and the West Coast Eagles started well for the first couple of minutes. Then the Dockers seemed to settle and got their game together. But then we saw Michael Malthouse's men come powering back and really put their stamp on that opening term. So at quarter time, 4-3-27 to 1-1-7 in the Western Derby at Subi.
The West Coast Eagles enjoying Mother's Day. They lead by 20 points, and interestingly enough, the next time they clash will be on Father's Day. However, here we go in the middle. The Wolfman is in ruck. Also on the ground is Sean McManus for the Dockers, so they've sprung a few changes to try and get back into this game. Don Pike takes the hand pass across half back, has a look towards the middle of the ground and finds David Hines. He was off. Gives it to Worsfold. Worsfold chips around his body to Simmons. Can't quite take it on the half volley and was almost taken out. McKenna works hard. Abraham in over the top. Hines paddled it out. Oh, he threw it, said the umpire.
I disagree with that. most players can hit the ball with an open hand or even a fist and scoop it up to play. The fact that it goes in the air and goes to a teammate, they call it a throw. And it really was a smack of the ball.
Well, Abraham has it.
See, that's just a smack.
The decision has been made, Malcolm. Mann has taken the mark at half forward. That was Winston's first touch. The man up towards the half forward line. Chisholm, down he comes from 51 metres. Has a shot at goal, but he's away to the right. And Scott Chisholm heads back with a behind to his credit.
David Hart, his side up by 19 points. Jakovic, strong hands there and legs as well. Was unmoved, came away, gets it across to White. White at half-back, kicks it high towards the wing. McManus goes up. He's replaced Mildenhall. Parker gets the hand pass. Chisholm tried to spike it directly to Matera, who goes down inside the 50. Lewis comes on the lead. He's marked right on the 50. Ball is storming back towards the kickoff line, but Lewis is holding it up. Now he goes to Turley. And Turley has marked about 35 metres out directly in front. Now McManus on the ground in place of Mildenhall should be picking up Turley. We saw him on the opposite wing just moments ago. And now Turley, unmanned, taking advantage of that. Craig Turley got a couple last week. Kicks and kicks cruelly.
Yes, once again the error was forced. And tremendous contest in that centre half back duel. And Craig Turley, who's worked his way back into this side. Terrific skills from Matera originally to set up Lewis. And a pretty, what we call a soda goal for the Eagles. And more pressure applied now to the Fremantle side.
Yes, 5-3 plays 1-2. 33-8. And the Eagles getting away to a flying start in this second quarter here at Subi.
Interesting, that punch back that went to Matera went out wide. There's that a rule in football: if you're going to punch it under pressure, punch it back in front of you, so at least they've got one player to go around.
Hines takes it out of the air. His opposition was Wolf. Chisholm on half back. Away he scoots. Kick taken out. A whistle is sounded and back it'll come. Taken out illegally. Scotty Waters has been spoken to. And the turnover occurs as Kemp gives it to the flying Matera. Look at that kick. In towards ball. Dropped it. Shovel towards the boundary line and over. Throw in the left forward pocket for the West Coast Eagles. Madigan desperately getting it to the line, but still in the West Coast attacking zone.
Wolf is number 20. With him is Ball. Wolf still over the ball. Tough in there. It's Bills wide, taken by Pike, who snaps across the face. It bounces out of bounds in the opposite pocket. There's Don Pike. His dad Frank was a top player for Perth. Runner up for Ray Sorrell in the 63 Sandover medal, as we saw that situation with Kemp on the outer wing. Here he is again, as if on cue. Snaps. Out of bounds on the full, was it? No, on the bounce. Brought up the chalk.
Yes, and Stephen O'Reilly chasing that football. It looks a bit proppy after that marking contest with Jason Ball. Proppy indeed.
Ball and Wolf to go at it again. Wolf in front, does well. Here's Hetty, already has 2 goals. Brilliantly done to Pike.
Hang on, Dennis, I've got to be fair about this. What's the difference between that one and the one on the wing before?
Not much.
From Hines.
I know which one you were talking about.
Yes.
O'Reilly's got the 3 in the pocket. 3 West Australian umpires today.
O'Reilly kicks to Hines, who marks. Just edged out his opponent. And David Hines, forward of centre.
Those umpires have our help as usual, of course.
The lead of Ball is ignored. He drops back. Hines goes long into the square and fisted over for behind. The Eagles doing all the early attacking in this second quarter. Ominous signs for the Dockers. Scott Chisholm will bring the ball back into play. to O'Reilly. Former Geelong man. Short again to Phil Gilbert, who took it on the second grab. Look out, they're after you. The Wolfman gets it clear. Away goes Parker. Wide to the outer wing. The mark taken by McGovern. He plays on. Just. And is going to lose it to Hines and Matera. What will he do here? Short to Heady. Too good. Too classy.
Fantastic understanding there by that pair.
Yes, this chasing from behind was certainly mentioned in all the pre-matchups, and it is happening. The Eagles are probably the best side in the league at being honest at chasing the man from behind.
Heady started out behind Chisholm and actually dropped back, but it never occurred to Matera that he wouldn't come forward. I mean, they just knew.
This for number 3. From 40 metres out, he makes no mistake. So Heady has 3, and the Eagles, Malcolm, move into a very strong position, 6-4 to 1-2.
Yes, it is a testing time now for the Dockers, and once again that running, trying to run, and with guys chasing you from behind and just putting pressure on the kick. It was an interesting kick as we look at these great skills again of Matera, and Heady finishing off beautifully. But the kick to go so wide to the wing, you just wonder why sometimes they should just hit centre half forward occasionally.
Dockers down by 32 points. Wolf knocks it down. Matera, who's been terrific run down that time. Well done by Norris. Loose ball. Comes across to McManus. Kept his balance well to Allen from right on the 50 off one step. Floats it down towards the kickoff line. Burrows going back. Couldn't rake it in. Off hands are behind. Ben Allen. 6 finals with the Hawks. This is something akin to that. Hart in the pocket. Comes out very wide with the kick. McManus will need to go here. Can't control it. Across the line it goes. And a boundary throw in down towards left half forward for the Dockers. 14.5 minutes till half time. They need to regroup. A few looking a little shell-shocked out there at the moment as the West Coast Eagles have unloaded on them. Wolf thumps it down inside the 50. Socket off the ground by Hart. Bad luck. Out of bounds on the 4.
In fact, Dennis, the Eagles have kicked the last 6 goals.
Yep, Miller got the first one. McManus towards the middle, ill-directed, in front with courage. McKenna went after it. Banfield slips it away. White. How often have we seen that? Running up the ground hard, goes out wide. Heady cleverly off the ball. Parker in pursuit. Heady turns him inside out. Goes with the outside of the boot, floats it down towards half forward and ball. And that's a very good mark in front of O'Reilly. Jason Ball hit the ground running. Centers the ball, tailor-made for Lewis. Should have hung on, dropped the mark. Coming in was Leach, approached it rather tentatively. Gets the hand pass away to Miller. And Miller from half-back swings it out wide. Winston Abraham, whoops, daunting. Got by Worsfold, well done young man. Runs to the wing. Kickett, who's on the forward line, takes it, plays on. Not a particularly good kick, or was it? Well, let's say it was a clever one. It found Hutton, goes looking for Waters. It was an indecisive kick. Waters gets his second chance close to the boundary line. Can't keep it in.
Well, that was the first time, really, the Fremantle side have just found some space through the midfield as we look at the Dockers bench, and really did look exciting once they got going there.
Well, they've got it in their attacking zone. Can they take advantage of it? Jakovic says no, and he pumps it towards Drew Banfield. Hart tries to set something up, but he goes further down the ground and finds Simmons. Wonderful in defence of the West Coast. To the dangerous Matera. Metres in front of Norwich. To half forward. Over the top of McManus. Lewis sees it ricochet away over the boundary line. A throw in right half forward for the Eagles. The premiership flag unfurled today and they're pumped. Pike towards Kemp, Chisholm and Heady. Kemp to Heady. Here's another one. No! Crowd rose with Brett Heady anticipating number 4 with a man who wears number 1, but it wasn't to be.
I've never seen two players like Matera and Heady so dominant for so long in a game. of this stature. It's just incredible how much of the ball they're getting.
O'Reilly towards the outer side, up in front, Madigan. Plays on. Former premiership player at Hawthorn. It's out very wide with a kick. It bounces out of bounds on the wing. So a throw in front of the new stand out there, the super boxes. Madigan, who started on the bench, I think, back in that '89 grand final with Jamie Morrissey. Wolf, body to body, gets it down nicely to McGovern. Took a while, controls it eventually. Banfield was tackled, but not before he got it away. Simmons slips it down towards half forward. Parker leads back in the race. Chisholm comes up. Nice-like grip applied by Eddie. And Kemp in turn. Parker eventually, just standing in the same place, dished it off. Chisholm comes away. Shocking kick towards midfield. Kick it, worked out of it well there by McKenna. Loose ball behind to Hart. Floats it in the 50. Going back O'Reilly. He's done very well in defence. Little chip pass. Here's McGovern.
On the defensive 50, around the body to Norris, who snuck away. Matera closing fast, and he chases hard. Look out! Just gets his kick up towards the 50. Man could have been interfered with. Take a free kick. Just on 50.
Really does need Burrows, Hutton and Mann to lift now in this forward line. They've really got to make the most of their chances. You are not going to get as many chances as in a normal game, and percentage stuff.
Heady coming off. Waterman on. Eagles fans giving him a huge cheer. Been in sensational form. Man in towards goal. A big pack of players and a goal. Burrows, I think, has broken the drought. Finally. They get their second, but by gee, it's taken a while.
It has indeed, Sandy, and yes, it just does need those forward line players. Interesting enough, Mann and Burrows got in the action then, but there was a huge pack in the middle of the goal square. Everybody was trying to jump higher than the new stand, and this fantastic play, free kick, jump set up by Mann, pretty good goal by Burrows.
Hines had it, then lost it. Spills behind, taken by Evans, who boots it down towards half forward. Norris tries to knock it away from Matera. Here's trouble for the Dockers. Kemp onto the loose ball. It's going to be a free kick, I think, to Matera, being held by Norris. So Peter Matera, not selected in the original side on Thursday. A chance to score from about 45 metres out.
Just an interesting tactic there. The ball did feel free, full free to Kemp, who was certainly going to run into an open goal, and would have been. I just advised the umpire then I just might have let that go for another 2 or 3 seconds just to see what happened. You can always recall it back to where the original free kick was.
Matera's got the ball, and he'll kick from 40. Just a little further out. Takes plenty of time. Not a good effort. Should have left it with Kemp. Here he is again, determined to get a crack at this goal, Dean Kemp. He pulls it back towards the kick-off line. It's a floater. They have to wait. Over the top, Lewis. 15 metres out, Chris Lewis. 39 goals last season. That was his best goal-kicking season. 4 goals from 6 games so far this year.
Dennis, just one of my little pet hobbies in football is Matera kicks the ball 60 metres consistently on the run and very, very straight. And he lines up for goal there, and he waltzes in and really doesn't put any oomph behind it. And interesting.
He was staggered. The umpire didn't let Kemp run on. There's Lewis. Goal.
So Chris Lewis gets his first goal, and the Eagles 7th. And back to that 31-point margin as the Dockers fought back with that goal. Every goal is going to be important from now on in. That's pretty obvious. But it really must be the Fremantle side to get some of this dash through the middle of the ground, and the key forward starting to dominate as we watch that great mark there from Lewis. But really, Shane Parker you must attack the footy in the air as well, and he just looked a bit quietish in his attack on the ball.
46, plays 15. 31 points. Hines and Wolf. The latter wins it. Allen tries to sock it off the ground down towards the half-forward line. The Dockers want the next one. Kickett has a look up forward. Wants to sneak clear, but he runs into Chris Lewis. Didn't see him. McGovern a hurried kick. It wobbles towards the half-forward line, but Turley is there. He beats McManus and he has it. The Eagles out of trouble again towards Matera and Norrish. Also there is Peter Wilson. Around he goes. He gets the call from Matera. Norrish is with him. Gives it back quickly towards McManus. Swamp. So too is Norrish. Too high, said the umpire. We'll take a free kick.
It's right in front of us, all that person play. The recovery of Matera then to come back and put that tackle on was just exceptional. He really does have cat-like reflexes.
Norrish.
You wish.
Over the centre. Big pack of players again, but waiting down in front is Lewis. Tumbles it up towards Matera. Pushing the ball along in front for Turley. Madigan over the top with Turley.
That's the ball. That's correct, umpire.
Let's get on with it. That's exactly what he does. Wilson flicks it over the back, but goes straight to Madigan, who kicks it straight to David Hines. A high kick in towards ball territory at half forward. Fisted clear, waiting down McManus. And a chance to clear, but Simmons is too quick. Shot in front of Leach and has marked. Hines is screaming for it. Evans is screaming for it.
It just shows the difference between the two sides. You've got a youngster just onto the ground in this big game. And he's just been a bit rushy with his stuff, and I think that's just the poise and experience of the Eagles side.
Simmons decides to go for broke with a lovely drop punt, but he's just away to the left, going for a little bit of extra distance and one behind.
Really coming on as a player, Simmons. Saw him in that terrific win early in the year when he kicked a couple of late goals. Really developing.
Scott Chisholm. 47 plays 15. Short up the middle to a contest, if you don't mind. Madigan got hands to it. Couldn't reef it in. Well done there by Banfield. Gets it across to Waterman, who snaps and kicks a goal.
Yes, one of the great pieces of play that Mick Malthouse has set up with his football club is, I think they're the best side at reading other people's kickoffs, and I can remember the grand final last year, 2 in the second quarter, that really did open up the game a bit. They just must work harder on it than anybody else, and they really do close down opposition forward lines and try to keep the ball in.
8-5 plays 2-3. Just over 8 minutes remaining. Hines tries to win it out of the centre, and he does. Lewis was in front spot. Parker over the top. Allen defending for the Dockers. Caught beautifully by Wilson. Back to Parker and now Chisholm. Scott Chisholm has a bounce from half back. Gets away from Banfield. Looks up towards the half forward line. Waddell Johnson's come onto the ground. And over the line he sees it for a throw in. Couple of changes. Craig Burrows receiving some attention. The Dockers needing goals. 8-5 to 2-3 they trail. Spider-Burton from the back. Simmons waiting down in front. Leach applies the pressure to him, and it sails over the line once more. Brett Heady's been the main goal kicker on the ground. He has 3 to date. In fact, he is the only multiple scorer. Burton and Hines, the former with a great height advantage. Banfield at the second attempt. Sockers it into the clear. Parker and Lewis. Lewis has a free kick. Shane Parker on the mark. Lewis looks down to half forward and he goes short. Banfield goes longer in towards ball, but Spider-Burton just chips in. Will he sprint away? No, he won't. He wobbles it over to O'Reilly. And he gets caught. Well done, ball. This goal, if it's a goal, belongs to you. Tony Evans bangs it into the woodwork.
hate saying it, but just another example of that great chasing ability of the Eagles side. And it really is a lesson of, you know, Stephen O'Reilly did have enough time then, but just a fantastic effort to put that pressure on him and create the error.
O'Reilly limping slightly. His ball after the chase. Chisholm gets it to O'Reilly. Filled him all. He's in the back pocket. 6.5 minutes just over till half time. Nothing on down the ground again. They're losing in midfield badly. The high kick from behind. Madigan. Almost the mark. It falls to Evans. Away to Turley. Turley to the middle and space just wide of Waterman. Ball couldn't control it. Waterman goes again. Knocks it to Simmons. 45 metres out towards full forward. It bounces through for a behind. Big leap there from Madigan.
I just think it's almost like playing kick the kick in the schoolyard, isn't it? With all these backs and the Eagles players, 5 of them there, almost. It's good. Yeah, it's good
time to go down the other end. Is what it is.
Yes.
Remember that? Always somebody with a sharp springs, like yourself, I bet. Here's Gilbert in the pocket. 8-7-2-3. Look at this. They're bottled up. Gilbert short out of bounds on the full. Well, unfortunately in sport sometimes when the wheels start to come off, all 4 come off at once. Short one comes in. Evans has taken this one. He got it from Banfield. He will kick from just outside the 50. Tony Evans. His ball up ahead. Plenty of options, but he's going for distance. Oops, a daisy. Out of bounds on the full in the left full forward pocket. Going for the spiral. It did not work.
Yes, and I think the rule is you try one of those, and they're a hard kick to do. If you're in form, you kick them. Otherwise, you put them away for the day. Try one early. If it works, terrific. If not, put it away for the rest of the day.
5.5 minutes remaining. McManus goes to the outer side. David Hines, supreme.
He was lifting him a bit.
Turley loose. Sorry, Malcolm, but he is loose. Wilson has called for it. Ball is there also. Jason Ball around the body. Lewis at the back. Simmons from the pocket. Shrugs one tackle. Shrugs 2. Don't tell me you can kick a goal. There he is.
That is very, very special stuff that we just witnessed there. And Paul Simmons, just terrific poise for a young fellow. And starting to look ominous, isn't it? The wingman with Matera and Simmons now. They both are clever. Both can kick a goal and have that poise. As we watch this again, most players would have unloaded that, and he just had the wherewithal to waltz in and kick his first goal.
So 61-15. Sorry scoreline for the Fremantle Dockers. This game being played now almost exclusively in one half. Waters to Allen. That's better. The hand pass wide of the mark though. Held without it surely. It was Worsfold. No free kick. Oh, you've got to be kidding. Here's Hart towards the wing. It's out of bounds across the line. John Worsfold having plenty to say. He started in fiery fashion. Now wants a whistle. A man known to rearrange the ribs of a rhino, and he started in that fashion today. He really was pumped up. Kickett's in there, slaps it behind. Worsfold. And now Allen with a half chance inside the 50. Picked up eventually by McKenna, who kicks it directly out of bounds on the full. Free kick to the Dockers.
Brett Heady on the bench as Kickett and Worsfold untangle themselves. Waddell Johnson gets the shock of his life when he says it's mine. Is it? Right. And so the Dockers to go deep into attack, but that has been very rare this quarter. There's a fine mark by Spider Burton. They kicked 1 goal, 1 in the first quarter. There are 4 minutes left in this term to date, and they've so far added 1-2.
Yes, and a great mark again. Once again, come across the front of the pack as he did early in the game. We've missed him, I think, when he's off the ground.
Burton for his first. And And the Dockers get their third.
So 5 goals to the Eagles this quarter and 2 to the Fremantle side. Interesting when Wolf went into ruck and Burrow's now off. Wolf's gone up forward and Burton back in. He's just taken a couple of grabs, one at the back end and now one at the front to kick a goal. It's going to be very hard to be jumping over all day with both Hines having a run at him now and Ball on the bench waiting. Ryan Turnbull, sorry. Terrific contest in ruck at the moment.
Eagles by 40 points. I guess the good news for the Dockers is the Eagles have trouble burning anybody off with heaps of goals, despite the fact they're dominating a football game. So the Dockers get a couple and they're sort of in it, but on balance of play, you'd have to say not. Parker was dragged down. Simmons did well, got it across towards Banfield. Madigan somehow slipped it through, knocked forward by Abraham, taken by Waters to kick it. He goes looking for Burton. Lewis did well, sensing the danger, got back. Banfield again. Quick hands to Kemp, on to Hines. Hines inside the 50, almost to free, nothing doing. Over the ball down there is Chisholm. Somebody's lost a boot. In fact, it's Pike who kicks with his sock. Could it be the first goal in a derby with a socked foot down towards the pocket? Gilbert's got it. Just a day of history, Sandy. Ball, 5 metres out, goal.
Well, what marvellous pressure again from the Eagles, and you just got to admire this football side. Their work rate in the forward line defence, wherever it is just terrific. And coming off the ground is Parker, and he's had a very ordinary day, I can assure you. Gilbert here very slow, but Waterman just a fantastic tackle. The handball misses, and Jason Ball in the very right spot at the very right time and made certain of it.
10-7, plays 3-3. Under 3 minutes remaining. Burton stands his ground. Banfield tries to storm through the middle. So too Matera, neither can take it. Waters. The Dockers desperate for a score. Well, he goes sideways. You can't go any more sideways than that. Allen over the top as time ticks away. Wardell Johnson on the outer side. Centering towards Norwich. And he marks a long way from home. Still just forward of the wing. 2.5 minutes remaining. Out comes Hutton, a long way from goal. Had a big day last week. He kicked 8, Abraham kicked 6. But it's a very different story at the moment. 75 metres out is John Hutton. In front of one section of the new stand here at Subiaco. It's a long drop punt into the square. Burton is there. Off the pack, a snap. Straight up and down. And finally seen over the line by Tony Evans for one behind.
Just had a thought watching that build-up then that with that quick kick from the centre to a one-on-one situation in the forward line, it must be very frustrating playing the Dockers forward line with the amount of squaring of the ball going wide, players bouncing. It really does take a lot of patience to wait till you lead.
Hines and Turnbull interchanging as Fraser Garrick hands back the football. Turnbull coming on for the last 2 minutes of this first half, and Guy McKenna to bring it back into play. Comes towards the big man Turnbull, and he doesn't let him down. He's an excellent athlete. Converts it towards centre wing, where it's fisted over the line. Turley and Sean McManus. A couple of mop tops. See it over. Burton and Turnbull again. Out the back, Banfield. Taken away by Miller. Kicked the first goal for the Dockers. That was a long time ago. Allen in trouble. Sheer persistence by Peter Wilson. Look at the magic of Winston. Away he goes, chipping in towards half forward. Dropped by McManus. He had it spent before he got it. Jakovic pumps it high. He may make him pay. Wilson runs into his own man, but he bounces off again. That was ball. Well done by Wilson. Turnbull may soccer off the ground, and he does, up towards the 50-metre line. Kickett defending for the Dockers. Comes back to get them out of trouble.
To the wing, McManus stretches and keeps it in. Just involved with John Worsfold, who again, as he started the half, is ending it, making his presence felt. This is Miller, plays on. Whoops. In reverse, kicks it down towards centre half forward. Djakovic works his way in front. Hutton, good grab. Hutton about 60 metres from goal. To kick it a long way. 8 last week. In fact, 2 of those goals in the last 30 seconds. The string broken today. We're down to 25 seconds at the moment. Hutton unloads. That's a magnificent kick. Hasn't got the carry, just Wolf, a crashing Wolf, behind.
But he was certainly very aware.
Good. 10-7-3-5. Here's Kemp. Kemp towards the middle. It's good to see you're seeing some humour in big games again anyway. McManus goes in with Wilson. Slapped out. Allen's got the ball. Gives it to Kickett. On the siren. It's half-time at Subi. It would be very interesting, I'd say, to be in the Fremantle Dockers rooms at half-time because they've come face-to-face with the AFL this afternoon. You just get that feeling, and that's not being patronising to them, but a lot at stake today, and really, these Eagles have come at them hard, and they've got to regroup and come back. It's 10-7-3-5 at the half from Subi in the big Western Derby.
So here we go, the second half at Subiaco. Can the Dockers come back? Wolf in the ruck, up against Ryan Turnbull. Turnbull gives it away to Evans like lightning to Don Pike. Pike goes towards the 50-metre line. Ball had it for a moment, so too O'Reilly and Kickett. And it's Kickett who gets it away. Over the top he goes to Madigan. Now he finds his skipper in Ben Allen. Allen towards Peter Mann, who's swamped. Big pack of players. Tackling by the Eagles in the first half was absolutely ferocious. They said, welcome to the big game.
He didn't call it a throw.
Yep.
He did.
Flanagan, no idea.
Turley gives it to Djakovic. Special comments from Malcolm Blight as Djakovic kicks up towards the half-forward line. Danger here as the snap comes in towards goal. What a start for the Eagles in this second half. Metropolis gets his first. Says, I don't mind coming off the bench if that's what I'm going to do. 11-7 plays 3-5.
Yes, and not to just Metropolis. They've just rearranged their side a bit. As I said, Heady's back on, who came off, and it's a very ordinary decision again. So we've seen 3 of those today. 2 have been free kicks and 1's been play on. Quite incredible. Once again, the Dockers really going for their marks. Looking at from behind there, Scott Chisholm really could have punched that one, I suppose, but he really went for it and paid the penalty with that goal from Metropolis.
So the margin 50 points. Wolf beaten by Turnbull, who thumps it down towards half forward. Heady cleverly to Banfield. Now Pike, all one-way traffic again to start this term. Pike inside the 50. Lewis almost offhand. Simmons only as far as Metropolis. Back to Lewis. Man on in the pocket. That's Heady, and he's got it about 25 metres out. Now Heady's got 3 so far. Career best of 7-3 twice. Both on this ground. From memory against St Kilda and Footscray, 91-92. Going for his 4th here, and a lead of 56 points.
He's had 7 marks and 5 of them classical almost, aren't they? That was the simplest one of the lot.
Terrific play. Brett Heady, a question of accuracy here. Misses to the near side. Not even close.
Interesting move that he was taken off probably 10 minutes to go in that second quarter. He was really on fire, perhaps for a rest or a minor problem.
He missed the easy goal, remember? Do you think?
Oh, I don't think so.
Harsh.
19 effective scoring shots to 8. Chisholm. Oh, my hat. Oh, my hat. Oh, breathe a sigh of relief, Scott.
Not exactly great, Scott, was it?
Jason Ball missing a golden opportunity. Kicked one in the second quarter. Chisholm this time. Again unsure, has been told to go, and he does. Turley, this time the flyer from behind. Well, they've been chasing frequent flyer points this afternoon. Here's Kemp inside 50. Snaps away at goal. They pepper away. He's kicked it, I think.
Yes, he has indeed, Sandy, and incessant pressure from the Eagles players. I just had a thought with Chisholm kicking off then that he's a fantastic young player, but I wouldn't have thought the most consistent kick in the competition. And most sides now virtually have a designated kicker and really is the best kick, and he just kicking just has let him down a little bit. Nevertheless, the Eagles continue onwards. 2 quick goals at the start of this quarter.
81-23. Wolf backhands it down. Pike didn't have it. Didn't get a free kick either. Norris held by Matera. Took a long time, and Matera gets the free. His 14th kick coming up. Swings it out wide. Pike has run on down the ground. He's got it down towards right half forward. Don Pike. Plenty of leads to choose from up ahead. Lewis. Like shooting fish in a bowl at the present time.
Is that allowed?
I thought I'm not going to get into that.
So here's Lewis from right on the 50. Old saying, I don't know what it means, but it means things aren't going well for the Dockers, I think, roughly translated. Eddie's got it. Now Heady. Another chance for his 4th.
Just wonder what we were talking about before. You just wonder if the Fremantle side just might bring this real killer instinct out of the Eagles on a day like today.
Oh, no doubt about that. I'm sure that's what's happened. They are ripe, the Eagles today. You could sense it as they came onto Subiaco Oval. Heady kicks truly. Another one. He's got 4.
There's some 4 classy goals from Brett Heady. They've had troubles up forward, but when Heady's on fire, he's a very important player because goals do come from his boot. Interesting enough, as we look as watch that kick, he is a terrific kick and wonderful skills, and they just shared that ball around until he was in a position to do it. Wolf comes off and Burrows comes back on with his knee heavily bandaged. He really has just struggled a bit and would apparently be very sore.
Oh, the umpires crash to the ground in the middle. Evans gets caught. The umpire's up. Turnbull tries to get away. Grant Vernon's okay. Brett Heady almost threw it out the back door, but it was gleefully accepted by Metropolis, who kicks down towards Lewis, picks it up beautifully on the half volley. Go for home, Chris Lewis. Well, he wants to bring rain. He's gone up a country kilometre, and it's bounced out the back door towards Metropolis. Had it, lost it, regained it, just like Banfield. Off to Pike. Caught. Loses the football, but they've got so much support, and the ball just seems to follow the blue and gold. Heady gives it to Simmons. He slips. Well, he says he didn't play on, but I think he may have. Goes inside and finds Tony Evans. All too easy. Those fish in the bowl looking in real trouble now, Dennis.
Yes, is a country kilometre any different to just a city kilometre too, Sandy? I wanted to ask.
You've been sitting next to Den too long. Evans, 40 metres out.
And talk about mismatches. I mean, Burton tracking Evans into the forward line is not what Neesham's on about.
Tony Evans, the left footer. All too easy now. All too easy. He gets his second, both from that end of the ground. And this is a big percentage booster, Malcolm, at the minute.
Yes, we really didn't want this first 4 goals now at the start. And Pike's been terrific around the middle. He really is starting to get many possessions. He's had 16 so far. He's got a lot of possessions early in this quarter and set up that forward line with some fantastic play. But Fremantle really needs some steel in their game now.
Margin is 70 points. Turnbull out of mid-air, floats it down towards half forward. Heading. Terrific grab. Pike runs to the same space, wide towards right half forward yet again. And again he gets the ball. He's 65 metres out. He goes long down towards ball. O'Reilly playing off him did well. Knocks it down in front. Waddell Johnson got it away to Allen. Allen towards the wing. That's a good kick. And Mann takes the mark. They've been forward of centre once in this term. They went down to left half forward, but promptly came back. So Mann will send them forward of centre for the second time. Perhaps not. He goes straight across the ground. Waters will. He runs away from the centre circle. Some indecision. Good kick. Abraham goes back. Pike did well. Abraham took the mark. Plays on. Kicks. It's close. That's a fine goal.
This, in fact, Abraham's first goal. He's been pretty well held today. The half-forward line hasn't functioned as well as I'm sure that Jared Neesham would like. Only the second mark that was for man then. Waters trying to set the game up. Pike goes back pretty hard. They're pretty committed. Abraham, just a nonchalant little waltz around, screwed it around beautifully.
4 goals, 2 to 1 goal so far in this quarter. Back in the middle we go. Turnbull stands his ground and he spins it out of the centre. Heady was held. It deters him not. Chisholm soccers off the ground but straight to Pike. Don Pike from a standing start looks up towards the 50 and there he is again, Brett Heady. He has been everywhere. 13 kicks and 10 marks. Simmons couldn't take it. McManus rides the bump. Burton on all fours. Back towards McManus again. They're not out of trouble yet. Leach from half back goes wide. Now they've got a chance. Pike tries to intercept, but kick it's away. One bounce, and he runs through the middle. Up towards half forward. Mann is in front of Jakovic and he takes the mark. Peter Mann just forward of centre wing. Kicks towards Burrows. Fisted clear of him. Taken by McKenna. Down in front is Pike. Running the outer wing. Away from Mildenhall he goes. Bit of fancy stuff to McKenna and Pike. They're mucking around with it on the outer side. They may lose it. Miller. Close to the boundary line. Keeps it in play towards Kickett. Look out. To McManus into the centre. He can come to Waters and Scotty Waters has got a bit of space. Tucks it under his arm and away he goes. Then a deft little chip up towards the half-forward line. Miller has got Winston. Away goes Winston. A delightful ball. Shoots for second and kicks it.
Well, I've got a prediction to make. John Worsfold will be back on very shortly.
You think so? Yes.
I think so.
Yes, I mean, it is exciting when they do run with it. Obviously hasn't happened enough today, but Abraham just with it. Mitchell White had him cold there, absolutely cold, and in the space of 1/100th of a second had got around him and kicked the goal.
Yeah. Forced him on the left, wouldn't buy the dummy to the middle. White did everything right and still was beaten on the play.
He's actually playing in the middle of the ground now on Evans, and Pike's the one causing some damage. Really has a lot of kicks start of this quarter for the Eagles.
Well, after the bounce, he virtually heads out towards right half forward, particularly if the Eagles win the ball. So away we go again. Burton brings it down. Waters. Abraham was taken high. He'll get the free kick. Comes up. Faced a young customer. He and Matera get involved. 14-9 to 5-5. So suddenly the Dockers looking a little better. And that's good. Oh, how about that? Gets onto the spiral. They'll contest about 25 metres out. Off hands, Hutton in front. Dragged down immediately. Slapped through the pack. Miller couldn't control it. Hart heads for the line. And it trickles across. A boundary throw in.
Abraham, 3 little party tricks in the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Didn't touch the ball on the opening term. Started on Worsfold. On Pike with him. Jakovic. McKenna fast running out of space. That is a brilliant kick. He made the ball talk. Guy McKenna, 26 last Thursday. What a player he's been.
It's amazing. Mick Malthouse. Immediately Abraham started to get some touches. Pike swapped over onto him. Keeps the pressure on.
Turnbull wrestles with Burton. Comes away too. Floats it down towards half forward. Parker missed the mark. McGovern comes away with toe. Back towards his half-forward line. Mildenhall, awkward half volley, couldn't control it. Across the boundary line she goes. Mildenhall, the 93 Sandover medalist.
Under 12 minutes remaining in this third quarter. A couple of quick goals to Abraham, putting a bit of life into the Dockers play. Norris gives it across to Allen. Pumps it high. Down towards full forward. A rock at Gibraltar is Jakovic. The captain of a superb defence. And away goes Fraser Garrick. Bouncing his way to the middle. Went past Abraham as if he wasn't there. Waterman. Chipped to half forward. Simmons takes the mark. The Eagles in complete control. The lead of ball is ignored. Heady has been king for a day. Could have got a shove. McManus couldn't take it cleanly. Not out of it yet. Heady sockers it in towards ball. Cleverly done. Ball held. Gets the hand pass away. Piker snap. One behind. 14-10. Plays 5-5 on the 7 Sports scoreboard.
Enjoying the day. Home game for the West Coast Eagles today. They've got the majority of support here at Subiaco Oval. Of course, that will change next time they play at this ground. McGovern wondering where, gets a warning. Goes for distance, not bad policy towards the outer side. Burton is outnumbered, but he's got the height, juggles the mark. Play goes on, it wasn't paid. McManus comes away, across half back. Now the youngster squares the ball. Plenty of numbers to the opposite side of the ground. Norris is one. He's got it across to Parker. Now Parker has to find it, feeds it back. Leach, who likes a run from half back. Away he goes. Has had one bounce, a second. He's up towards the wing. Tim Jeff got in the road, goes over Jeffy, got it to Norris. Look out, Parker. Coming through was Waterman. He's over the ball, tries to slap it out. Still they go, Waterman and Mildenhall. Mildenhall on top of the ball now. And a bounce. Not bad policy, as they say in gridiron. Get in behind your blocker. And that's what the running Leach did. He got in behind Jeppy. Here's the runner for the West Coast Eagles. Abraham keeps it in front towards the 50. Well done. Matera came in quickly. Oh, and there was one in there on Matera. If you don't mind, Matera is down and hurt. And he copped a sly one in there. Away comes Hart. Kicks it towards the outer side. It pitches just across the line. Out of bounds on the full.
Matera up, but groggy. Allen has it.
I think there's a crack in the brotherhood.
Abraham from behind. Jakovic sees it over the line. So, one behind on the board. Matera up. McKenna to the outer side. Waterman the target. Takes it over the line. '94 plays 36. Tim Jeff is out and Matera is coming off. May well be the blood rule. We'll just have to wait and see. But Matera off. Wilson on. In the meantime, play goes on with Leach in the middle of the ground. You better be quick. Hutton. Back towards Norris. Under pressure all the time. Jakovic in late on man. Gets it clear, however. In towards Wardell Johnson, who hits for home and misses to the right.
They were telling me at Claremont last night his nickname's Hyphen. Pretty unusual, that, isn't it?
A lot of imagination down that way. I've always said that, Darla. Outrageous with their humour. Was it a good night for Daryl Panizza?
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Here's Hart kicking in. Members side. Banfield favoured by the kick. Reaches over the top. Couldn't complete the mark. Still he goes though, Banfield. Well played by Waters. Knocked down that hand pass and got it across the line. So they've been an excitement machine so far in the AFL as Peter Matera watches on. Just for the moment, the Dockers being forced to regroup Burton thumps it only as far as McKenna. All the time in the world goes down towards half forward. Heady and or Metropolis. It's Heady who takes the mark. Dominating this game. Goes looking for Lewis. It's a good kick too. Off hands. It comes down to Pike 60 metres out. Squares the ball. Turley and McManus. Turley down towards the pocket. McManus fell over. Turley didn't. And Turley kicks the goal. The difference.
Yes, the young fella, Sean McManus, has got round the ball. He looks lively, but he has overcommitted himself a number of times. Just fumble. I think the pressure of the day probably got to him. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's a learning process for a young fella like this. The real key was just not to be as committed as that. You just protect the ball and the player in front of you. And he can only learn from that. And I'm sure Jared Neeson will be sitting down during the week with him.
4 goals to Heady, 2 to Turley, 2 to Evans as Burton wins it. But look at Kemp steaming out of the centre for the Eagles. Up towards that dangerous half-forward line. Pike was in front. Couldn't quite take the mark in front of the eyes. Leach gets swamped. It spills free to Wilson, who's back on the ground from 50 metres out. He gives the hand pass away to Metropolis. Metropolis kick 1 as Turnbull has a spell on the bench. Kicks up towards half-forward. Heady is loose. Heady is dangerous in front of goal. He's come too far on this occasion. 1 behind. David Hines back out on the ground at the expense of Ryan Turnbull. 15-11. Plays 5-7.
Scott Chisholm. Tends to be exciting this after a slow start. Here we go. He's got his warning. He goes straight up the middle. Metropolis favoured by the kick. 4 Eagles in the vicinity. Allen was buried. This is like slow motion. Eventually they work it around. It was Evans who gave it to Turley. Now Kemp kicks towards the pocket. The flyer down there was Heady. It falls to Ball, who kicks the impossible goal. His second. 18 for the season. 16 for the afternoon. It's 16-11 to 5-7.
And the commitment once again from Brett Heady was just fantastic in the air, but the real play was the kick out. Once again, the Eagles do it better than any other side in the competition. The homework that Malthouse must do. Look at that commitment. Absolutely no fear whatsoever. And then the inside-out torp. One practiced occasionally at training when you're having fun inside, usually warming up, but not the one you normally see in a game of footy.
107 plays 37. The second sorry scoreline for the Dockers. Burton tries to win it down to Allen, who tumbles it to half forward. Jakovic pounces upon it. He's also placed in a headlock for a moment, but he picks himself up as Burton drifts down with Hines to contest. Abraham's kicked a couple of goals this quarter for the Dockers, but other than that, it's been pretty quiet as Simmons bounces his way across half-back. Banfield is lurking, Hart is running, away they go. Across the centre goes Hart, up towards half-forward, towards Lewis territory at the back. Chris Lewis! We have seen some extraordinary soccer goals this week, but no, not on that occasion.
Actually, that last few plays have been reminiscent of the Fremantle side, what I've seen on TV. This is the first time I've seen them live. I think the Eagles have had probably more bounces than what Fremantle have today.
I think you're right.
Left forward pocket. Heady scouting, kick it, in trouble. Lost it, gave it away to Chisholm, however, and O'Reilly should be able to come away. Gives it to Leach across half-back. Wilson chasing him. Back to the running O'Reilly he goes. The Dockers out of trouble. Up towards centre wing. Man is there, so too Waters. Look out, Jakovic is right on your hammer. A little too high, Glenn, says the umpire. Waters to take it. Just over 5 minutes remaining, and that's why.
That pair came up together at South Fremantle.
But towards Hutton. Contrasting weeks for him. McKenna over the top. Norrish. Wardell Johnson. Oh, they're like seagulls over a leftover lunch, aren't they? The way they pounce upon it, Malcolm.
Yes, they are indeed. They started the game like that. they will continue and just be irrepressible in that area.
False start, as you were. Hines and Burton. And out of bounds.
Just looking at those two running together there, most ruckmen do that now. I wonder if this rules committee will look at that to try and get the ruckmen running straight at each other around the ground as well.
Good idea. Hines superbly done down to Waterman. Floats it down towards half forward. They come from all directions. Gutsy attempt there by Parker, who was flattened in the opening minutes of the game. Over the ball, McGovern. And the whistle. Bounce inside the centre square. The attacking side of centre. The West Coast Eagles. Led by 44 points at halftime. The margin now is spread eagled out to 70. Down goes Allen. Gang tackled. And another bounce. Glorious day. Glorious new facility. But unfortunately, the game just hasn't measured up. It's been a mismatch so far. Banfield inside the 50. Fremantle lead in all directions to the ball. Kick it. Nicely done. Chips it out wide. Chisholm now. Can he run? Haven't seen much of it today. Lewis wants him badly. Got him down. Norris left standing, comes away, kicks to the middle. Man went one-handed, then tackled Kemp. Advantage is paid. Jakovic comes away. Rebound opportunity. Heady can take it and go. Will kick it. Did neither one thing nor the other. Heady did. Goal. Heady's got 5. 3 in this term. 2 in this term. Thank you, Malcolm.
Yes, as soon as the ball was turned over them from this, once again, this kick just didn't find the mark. The commitment from Kemp was great, though. And then Jakovic, just as you know he can, finds it. And, yeah, that's where kicker should really probably take the body and stop the game. Easy to say, but should be done.
.113 plays 37. Not every mother is going to have a happy day today. Kemp out of the middle to Waterman. The Eagles go up towards left half forward again. Metropolis is there, so too is Simmons. Parker with him. It's over the boundary line and a throw in. Neil Mildenhall also there.
Well, unless the Dockers are very careful, this could be the mother of all whoppings, couldn't it?
Yes, as Prime Minister looks on.
Why should they be any different from the other side?
You've got to put the pass behind you, Malcolm. Turley can't take it. McManus could have been taken high. He was, said the umpire. It'll come back.
That therapy just hasn't worked, has it?
Time, I think, is a wonderful healer.
Abraham in a bit of trouble in front of us here with a cramp. Yeah, he couldn't even throw the kick the ball back. He's cramped and just thrown the ball away.
McManus kicks it straight to McKenna.
Thought Abraham was loose.
He was, but he couldn't walk. Hines to half forward. The Eagles in attack again, but here's Parker. Interesting. The pressure continually applied to this Dockers lineup as Banfield marched strongly right in the centre of the ground. Thought about Kemp, but gave it to Hart. Now he gives it to Kemp from a standing start. Up towards the 50. Ball is in front. Heady's at the back. Look out. Kick it. Heady.
Right.
Does it beautifully to Pike, who lost it in the pack. Norris is in trouble and he runs into the tackle. They still control the football. Parker tucks it under his arm and comes away. Look out, Miller. Hart's got you. Wardell Johnson over the top. Pike running the flank, and Don Pike steadies in towards half forward. Heady is there. Turley is there. The ladder has it, and he'll shoot from just 40 metres out.
Just that whole build-up of play then, where the Eagles just relentlessly kept at them. I think that Jerry Neesham, these are the measuring stick. Now, if you're going to have a game plan to beat the measuring stick in the competition, and I know this is their first go at it, it's going to be very difficult indeed.
Starts it right and stays right.
And just following up that point, this is the first time they've been tested under this pressure too, so that, you know, the next time and the time they build up, as you get a bit tighter, that running game becomes a lot harder after you've been pressurised early in the game.
Norwich just over a minute and a half till three-quarter time. Riley kicking it in that time, and probably that's good policy. Had a lot of problems working effectively out of defence today. Allen close to the line. Yes, the Fremantle Dockers have come a lot further than most people would have thought to start the season, so a setback for them this afternoon, it would appear. Man flies high. McGovern goes down. Burton tries to knock it out. This is Hart. The defensive side of the wing, Hart. Looks down towards half forward. Heady settles, launches himself. McManus from behind almost got the mark eventually. This is Wilson. Away comes Wilson. Pulls it back from 60 metres out towards the corridor. Up comes ball. Socket away by Mildenhall. Loose ball out in front of goal. Well done by Mildenhall, and good work by Chisholm. Got Turley out of the contest. McManus runs on. Dockers down towards half forward. McManus settles. Looks for options, puts the ball pretty high in the Hutton direction. White very close. Hutton finds it on the ground. Immediately grabbed by McKenna. Hutton hits for the boundary line. McKenna was in there as well, and may have deflected the ball across the line eventually. Again, great pressure. That time, two former Claremont teammates, Hutton and McKenna, involved. Jakovic, strength, brilliantly done. Jakovic comes away to Hart. He's forward of half back. Dying seconds of the term. A wasted kick. They've been rare from the West Coast Eagles. Out of bounds on the full outer side. So we're down to 16 seconds remaining. 41 years of age, Michael Malthouse, at the top of his profession. Enjoying this afternoon. A lot more pressure on him coming in than Neesham. His man. And Neesham, up until today, certainly has had a honeymoon with the AFL. It's been a terrific job that he's done. This afternoon, no doubt, will cause him to rethink. As Hines gets it from McKenna. I'm sure he won't be making too many wholesale adjustments, but a little fine-tuning. Three-quarter time siren here at Subiaco Oval. 17-12, 114 to 5-7-37. It's a sellout crowd. It was sold out over a week before today. And I think most people looking for something a little closer, but it's been awesome, the power of the West Coast Eagles, whose form in recent weeks hasn't been terrific. They've had a few injuries, but this afternoon their pride was questioned, and they really have come back to stinging effect. 17-12, 5-7, three-quarter time at Subi in the Western Derby.
So just about set for a start in this final quarter here at Subiaco. The ground, as we've said, bathed in sunshine, a temperature of around 19 degrees. Ryan Turnbull sets himself for this final quarter. The West Coast at 17-12 will no doubt try and bury rivals Fremantle. 5-7. Here we go. Final quarter. The Wolfman is also back in the middle. Up against Turnbull. Won by Wolf. McGovern got a touch, but that was all. Going to be a free kick, however, and it's going to be taken by Mildenhall. To Waters. Back to Neil Mildenhall again. They take the long route home once more. Waters has a look up towards the half-forward line, and Miller takes the mark just inside 50. Kicked the Dockers' first goal. He's directly in front. Kicking from 49 metres. Into the square it goes. I think it might have just made it. Yes, it has. So Miller gets his second, and the Dockers get a good start to this final term.
Yes, and very observant too, Sandy. Number 49, kicked from 49 and got 6 points for it, which has nothing to do with that equation at all. But it was a good start. Once again, they tend to hold the ball up around the middle of the ground.
Another goal, and they'll be 49.
Yes, that's right. They tend to hold that ball up, don't they? They don't play direct, and I guess that Neesham's really going to have to sit back and just say, if can we do it better, or do we have to change? That'll be interesting coaching for him over the next few weeks.
Turnbull knocks it down. This is Leach. Dragged down. Well done by Metropolis. Socket off the ground by Wilson inside the 50. Ball. It was headed for Heady. Getting in there, Mildenhall. Well done by O'Reilly to knock the hand pass down. Back goes Simmons meantime in the centre square. Arches the back and comes away. Has a bounce. runs through midfield and kicks to half forward. Willow. Well, that was interesting. Turley waiting behind. They've got the numbers 3 on 2. Turley to Wilson. Goes back. Intended for Turley. Wolf got in there. Knocks it to O'Reilly. O'Reilly boots it towards the wing. In front McKenna. Knocked away by Madigan. Well played McKenna. Brilliantly done. Got it out to Turnbull. Turnbull. Probing kick inside the 50. Chisholm got a fist on it. Pike settles. Snaps. No fluke.
Indeed. First goal to Don Pike, and certainly no fluke. Just great poise, great experience, and I think that's the difference in the game when you look at it. And at the start and all the build-up to the whole of the game was that experience of the Eagles with what they've been through in their program, particularly in Michael Malthouse days, would stand them in pretty good stead against this young Docker side. And that's the way it's turned out. What we really need to see in this last quarter now is just a bit of zip and a bit of fight from the Fremantle side and get something out of the game.
120 plays 43. Wolf and Turnbull once again, won by the former. Allen through but couldn't take it. Kemp working hard at the bottom. Banfield, Waterman and McKenna. Guy McKenna, sensational footballer, kicks up towards the half forward line. Parker takes the mark. Bounces his way from half back. Now over towards Allen. Hutton from behind.
Free kick down ground. So any push after the back on Waters.
So John Hutton will take it. Well, a week's a long time in football. He kicked 8 last week, 6 of them, 5 of them in the second half. Today just 5 kicks and still looking for his first goal. Hutton from 46 metres. Pretty good looking kick, and he's kicked it. John Hutton gets his 13th goal for the season and his first for the day as Fremantle attempt to get some respectability onto that scoreboard. 7-7, plays 18-12.
Yes, and it has been a quietish day for the forwards for Fremantle. He is a wonderful kick. I can remember a game in Brisbane when Geelong kicked the record score to 37 goals. He actually kicked 8 of the 11 goals from the Bears at that stage, so we know he can kick a goal.
120 plays 49. Wolf and Turnbull again. Waterman setting it up, trying to get Banfield going down the ground. Banfield swings inboard towards half forward. The bouncing ball eludes Parker, but it's good for Kickett. Off to Waters. Still in the centre. He gets caught. Wolf at the bottom of the pack. Out to Waters. Ball is still just forward of centre. Heady may get there first. Hutton's come a long way out. Mildenhall is there also. Deft little chip up towards Miller, and he marks just inside 50. Peter Miller, 2 goals to him. 1 in the first term and 1 just a few minutes ago. 53 metres out. Goes in towards Spider Burton. A touch by Fraser Gehrig and 1 behind the end result. (18-12) plays 7-8. Kemp from the back pocket. Towards Turley. Piling on top of him is McManus. Hutton there also. Turley picks himself up, inquiring about a free kick, but umpire Vernon says no. So a bounce to take place. Vernon with Scroop and Garrett today.
All West Australians. Burton. This is White. Across the body. Waterman goes back. Marks on his chest. Plays on. Can't do that. He was forward of the mark. There's a boot marking the mark. That's where it happened. Chris Waterman on the wing. Out towards half forward. Ball comes on a searching lead, and that's a terrific mark. What a beauty. Another boot lost.
Yes.
There goes ball inside the 50. Chisholm up very early. Wolf got hands to it. Pretty hot in there. Whistle and a bounce.
Yes, and Peter Matera's back on the ground. Brett Heady's gone off. So Mick doesn't want him to get 3 votes, I think. He has had a fantastic game, and of course so is Matera. So just giving them a rest, sharing the workload of the forward line and on ballers.
Lewis keeps it in play. Centering kick in towards full forward. Norwich fists away from Pike. Simmons, like a piece of elastic, gives it away to Metropolis. From 42 metres and a standing start. There goes another one.
Second goal to Daniel Metropolis on the ground, and the ball is coming down to that forward line fairly often. So opportunities abound for the Eagles players. And really, many of the players looking very tired. This ground, it's going to be interesting with that spongy surface. You'd feel that the ping has gone out of their legs, and it really is just a memory thing now, running around, and hopefully they can set something up for more goals.
So the margin 76 points. Turnbull goes up and wins it down. Kemp's in front to Simmons. Pushed off the kick. Mildenhall an opportunity across his own half back line. Paddles it towards the line. Well, he kept it in. Not sure that was right policy. The ball eventually is knocked across. And a throw in about 65 metres out from the Eagles' attacking goal. 19-12 to 7-8. Good to see them getting together. And a whistle.
Yes, the crowd has been. Let's look at Mr. Keating.
They're not talking about the footy, are they?
And Collingwood's first win yesterday he's talking about, isn't he?
And the Premier, Mr. Court. Kick it, dragged off it. And smothered off the boot, so it will be thrown in. They've had their differences. Turnbull worked Wolf out of it. Banfield had it in front, finds it on the ground. Well done. Kemp, nicely done. Turnbull right on the 50. Great football. Metropolis ran into a dead end. Kicker dragged him down. Banfield comes again and again. Now Lewis, 55 metres out, chips it out wide. Matera at full stretch. This will be interesting. Chisholm is bearing down. Matera running away from his own goal. Chisholm didn't have the ball. Matera perhaps in the back of Leach. Leach knocked it about 15 metres. Turley's got it though. He's played a pretty good game again today. Got it to Kemp. Back to Turley. 75 metres out. Metropolis. His first 4 kicks, I think, in AFL football, all goals. He's got a couple this afternoon. He goes back to Matera, and Matera's got this one about 30 metres out. Now, you're agonising about whether to give him votes or not, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes, what I checked. Yes. I suppose he qualifies on repressed memory as far as you're concerned, does he? You should probably get him up.
Yes, he's certainly had an effect on the game, particularly when it counted early, didn't it? It really was exceptional. There's just so many good Eagles players on the ground.
But as you say, that element of speed from this man, not so much his kicking. It's gone out of bounds in the opposite pocket. Well, explain that to me.
Well, that was exactly the same spot. It happened, I think, in the second quarter down this end, and he really doesn't actually run in. And he's just a marvellous kicker. I really would like to see him belt at the goals.
I'll work on his game. Wilson towards the boundary line. Mildenhall held the ball a long time. That was the double spin with Pike. Now Pike's got the ball deep in the pocket. Got a chance to score from here. 19-12 plays 7-8. Mildenhall taking 2 revolutions there by Don Pike, who runs around, snaps and kicks a goal. What a beauty.
Well, Don Pike's 2 in this last quarter, and yes, it was a double spin, Dennis. I thought it would have been the third, the much more difficult one, but he only went the 2. And
well, they're well in front now.
Once again, it was just great skills on the boundary line, wasn't it? And I think just to take an example of that for Don Pike to do that in slow motion, it is much harder kick. But with doing it a bit quicker, he had momentum through the leg, and I think it is a real positive for kicking for goals. But nevertheless, a lot of players are different.
82 points is the margin. Wolf and Turnbull. Allen to the half-forward line. Man beaten by Jakovic. A high kick to the outer side towards Metropolis and Parker. Metropolis has a couple to beat. He sees it over the safety of the boundary line.
Indicative of the Eagles, that, isn't it? Half-forward line. We'll go another out of bounds. We won't do anything special around here. We'll just keep forcing it out. We'll build it up again.
Wolf flicks it out the back door. Allen was there. Now they've got a chance to set something up. McGovern's on the end of the Miller pass. He's outside 50 and running sideways. Now goes back inside. 2 players down in the forward zone, and Madigan will kick a much-needed goal. So Greg Madigan gets his first for the day and becomes the 6th goal kicker for Fremantle.
Actually, I looked at the Eagles players and it was quite funny. Jakovic, they're all pointing and saying, well, hang on, whose is he? How can anyone get on a footy ground when we're best one on one side in the competition?
Got 2.
And there's 2, and there's 40 metres from nowhere. It really was quite funny to see all the Eagles players looking.
So it's back to 76 points now. There's the time remaining, just over 12 minutes in this historic Western Derby. A resounding victory coming up for the West Coast Eagles. Lewis out of the middle, down towards half forward. Ball. O'Reilly has tried very hard in defence. Comes away. Swings it out wide. And Miller gets across. O'Reilly spotted him. Well done. Not a big target. Miller goes down towards half forward. Mann. He's taken this mark about 60 metres out. No 2 loose men now, though. He goes looking for Hutton. Not a bad kick either. Hutton works off White. Did the hard work. Should have marked it. Now he's trapped it. Wolf shovels it across to Hutton. Snap. Not a bad effort. Hit the post. Good try from there.
Well, the last kick out the centre, Dennis, was from the Fremantle side. It was the first time I've seen him actually kick the ball quickly to centre forward, and they resulted in a goal, and that was the one before. Just interesting. It was they didn't try and do anything fancy in the middle under pressure.
132 plays a 57. Waterman and Hart combined to bring it almost down to centre wing. Wilson has his eye on this ball. Couldn't hold it. Waters at the bottom of the pack. And again, they pounce on him and lock it up on centre wing. Burton. Sets himself with Turnbull, a huge height advantage, 210 centimetres. As Waters just tries to gain a few metres. He does that. And another throw.
McManus was going after that ball and Worsfold was doing a lap. McManus looked up and I'm sure he put in a short one.
Burton tries to flick it out the back. It comes back to him and he scoops it up to Ben Allen. Allen kicks up to the half-forward line and Mann takes them.
That's 4 times that's happened today. 2 frees and 2 no events. Go on.
Thank you. Well, it might be a goal.
Oh.
Touched. As he juggled the mark over the line, did he? What are the umpires conferring about?
Fantastic eyes from the umpire, really.
There's one behind.
So he's saying he juggled it across the line.
He didn't quite play it cleanly, but in that split second,
18 as 2012. McKenna. Short to Hart again. Back to Guy McKenna. Time and space to run it out to half back. And a worm burner for Jakovic. Kicks towards half forward. Metropolis has hectares. Bends it inside towards Kemp. Thought about Simmons, but now goes back 60 metres out. Chips up towards Ball. Also there is Matera and Wilson. The latter has it back to Ball. Around his body, he bends it high. Oh, this could be one of the goals of the day. Great kick.
Third. Yes, 3rd goal, sorry. Stephen O'Reilly did very well in the punching department. Then he actually belted his arm, so not indiscriminately. Very, very, very technically correct. As we see this coming around now with Kemp, who's really just kept motoring on. See that? O'Reilly knocks him on the arms. Wilson does well. He knows where the help is, and not a great attempt to smother either. And what a fantastic kick in the end. Looks the goods, doesn't he, up forward? Ball.
Oh, terrific player.
He's been a great contest, that, O'Reilly. Probably those two 50-50 today, one of the few areas where they've probably stood up.
80 points the difference then. Turnbull gets it down to Wilson. Too easy. Wilson unloads. Didn't really get it, but it's effective. Miscued, but Evans, first back at the ball, has marked only about 30 metres out against a teammate in Quinton Leach. Not a teammate this afternoon, but they've played a lot of football together at Claremont. A lot of that out on this ground today. Evans puts it through, another one. 22-12, 8-10.
Third goal to Tony Evans. Been a very productive player today. Just 15 touches, but 3 goals. And his moments in and around the ball now in the forward pocket, changing with Don Pike. He's having another run on the ball. He's been a very good player also. Yes, the stats: 192 kicks to the Eagles and 143. Really does tell a bit of a story for this Fremantle side on this derby day in Perth.
144 plays 58. As Lewis attempts to come away from the centre. 9 minutes remaining.
We might need the book too about the highest score the Eagles have kicked, because we're getting up towards that territory now. I'm sure it was against the Brisbane Bears at the Wacker one year, but just what it was, I'm not sure. So
I'm sure Malcolm will delve into that immediately. Mildenhall to the half-forward line. McKenna towards Don Pike. Lewis is there if he needs him. He elects to go the Matera way. To the outer side, the racehorse has a bit of room, but he just pops it over to Drew Banfield, who thought about going on with the job. Wardell Johnson holds him up. Hines comes back onto the ground. Turnbull is off it. Wilson marks. Going to come back. And Wardell Johnson is going to be given the football. Into the centre, Ben Allen. Sprints away from David Hines, kicks towards Hutton. Falls on his rump and is going to cop one for too high. It's going to come back. Kick it was away. So John Hutton has kicked just the 1 goal today. That was earlier in this quarter. Kicking from 55 metres. It'll need to be a booming drop punt. It is long, but it's very, very wide, out of bounds on the full.
Hart gets it to White. Up from the back pocket. Gets it very wide. McManus and Turley. Across the boundary line it goes. Turley has had a pretty good game again today. He's come back very strong.
You're right when you said their greatest winning margin was against Brisbane, but they've got a way to go, Dennis. 131 points. They kicked 29-18.
29, was it?
It's a big, big score. On centre wing, McManus gave it away towards Lewis, who rode the bump. Hines, Turley, Banfield, Waters caught. Tough in there. It's been tough for the Dockers right from the word go. 7 minutes remaining. Wardell Johnson picks himself up. Hyphen, as Malcolm likes to call him. And Burton sees it over the line.
So inside the last 7 minutes of this game, Hines and Burton. Burton very conscious of Hines there, then proceeds to take clean possession. Well done by the big fellow. Feeds it across the top. Mildenhall inside the centre square. Goes down towards half forward. Clever kick. Miller gets in space. He's 60 metres out. He's normally a long kick. Goes towards the pocket. And Wolf tracks it towards the boundary line. Well, that was, I think, the third of 2 options there for Miller. Wasn't the place to put it. So boundary throw in. Peter Miller. Courageous footballer. So Wolf and Gehrig shoulder to shoulder. Wolf had the strength. And he pulled that ball back in. The umpires decided to ball it up. The Eagles led by 20 points at quarter time, 44 at the half, 77 at 3/4 time. Their best third term of the season by a mile. They've had 11 goal kickers this afternoon. Wolf tried for clean possession. Waters hasn't given up. Abraham snaps. kicks it behind. That's a remarkable story, that young man. Just, I think from memory, 8 senior games for Perth in the WAFL competition. And he's taken to the AFL as if he'd been doing it all his life. A slight hiccup today, but even so, it's been a terrific debut season for him so far. McKenna gets it from White. And this is the difference, how well they bring it out. Just not enough accountability from the Dockers down there, manning up when the ball is coming out of defence. Norrish couldn't control it. McManus tries to flick it back to Norrish. And in the process, Turley tied 2 of them up. Hines gave it away. Parker, well done by the hyphen. He knocked it down to McManus, who gets it across to support Leach. Look at the pressure from the Eagles. Eventually, though, McManus broadens things and gives it across in turn to Miller. Now Wardell Johnson, involved earlier, grabs the ball and kicks to half forward. In from the side, Hutton, knocked away by Gehrig. The Eagles had a chance to get it away. They've been penalised. Advantages paid. Hutton heads for home, and that's one he should have got. No pressure on at all, but it's inferred pressure almost now.
Yes, it's a new level they're playing now, and next week they play Collingwood at Victoria Park. That is Fremantle, so it's going to be another one of the great tests in football as well.
84 points the margin. Simmons is across half back. McGovern chases, but he gets his kick towards David Hines on centre wing. A tired Spider Burton is on the mark. Hines from the shadows of the stand to the running Wilson. Kemp was interfered with. Willow goes on with it. Down towards half forward. Look out, Matera. The racehorse is away. Snaps and he's wide. One behind. O'Reilly. With 4.5 minutes remaining. Mildenhall kicks from halfback towards Mann. Jakovic with a sweeping right, spoils. Hutton gets the hand pass into the clear, taken away by Waters, inside towards Mildenhall. Deft little chip up towards Hutton, can't quite pull it in with the one hand, didn't quite go far enough, but he's quick to recover. Wolf should do the shepherding. Look at the work by McKenna. He beat 2 of them. That is sensational play. Up towards centre wing goes the kick of Gehrig. He goes back to tap McKenna on the shoulder and say, well done. In the meantime, they've got it at the forward line. Look at the pick up by ball. Look out, Metropolis. Runs into trouble. Waddell Johnson a chance to clear. He's at half-back. Gets it away to Leach, and for the moment, they're out of trouble.
Mildenhall creeping up towards the centre. Touches it down now. Shows the ball to Matera. And again. Well, he's caged or almost, but he gets away. He's right on the wing now. He kicks down towards half forward. Ill-directed kick, though. Missed by Hart. Abraham leads back in the race. Another brilliant pickup. We saw one from Ball just moments ago. This one slides across the goal face. Getting back is Gehrig. No real pressure on. Goes around Wolf. Kicks it out wide towards half-back. Stretching is Waters, close to the line. Confronted by Simmons, who got him. Gets it away to McGovern. McGovern's about 80 metres from goal. Goes in very short to Allen. He hasn't seen a lot of the ball today, Ben Allen. Kicks well inside the 50 now. Abraham's the target. Down there with him, Hart. Hart controlled it to his own advantage. Gets it away slickly. Gehrig now. Little chip pass towards Matera. Extends himself and takes the mark. That was well done. It was classic Matera. Comes to Kemp. He's the defensive side of the wing. Has a bounce. Hugging the boundary line. Goes down towards half forward. Ball. Strong hands. Couldn't complete the mark. It's been a wonderful duel that. O'Reilly comes away. Full chested. Kicks back towards half forward. Mann alongside the centre circle. In fact, completes the lead. And has this ball to send it into attack. 22-13 to 8-12. Peter Mann goes for distance out wide. The kick favours Waterman. Waterman takes the mark.
Couple of minutes before the Dockers are put out of their misery. Metropolis floating down to the half-back line is called to play on now. Wants Simmons. Just keeps it in play. No, said the umpire, as Wardell Johnson unceremoniously dumps him and is going to get a free kick. Not really what he wanted, with under 2 minutes of play remaining for the day. gives it to Matera, who in turn gives it to Dean Kemp.
Just thinking they're fit and hard, aren't they, the Eagles? They just keep pressure on you.
Stars have been on show today, Malcolm. They've done it magnificently. O'Reilly, a good spoil. Allen ambles up to the half-forward line, and Peter Mann gets his kick before Jakovic applies the bump, but Mitchell White, who's there at half-back, has given away the free kick. Did you think, Malcolm?
No, I didn't. I just thought he used his body, stood his ground, turned his body to the side.
Well, Hutton's going to get a chance to score his second for the quarter and for the day. Here it is again.
The umpire's right there. It really was just a lean on, wasn't it? It wasn't anything out of the ordinary. But nevertheless, he has a chance to kick his second goal.
Has 13 for the season. Mainly due to his bag of 8 last week. And he's kicked his second for the day. So 2 to John Hutton. And 9 to the Dockers. 9-12 plays 22-13.
Once again, the Eagles have kicked 5 goals in this quarter to the Dockers 4. So it's a great score, 22-13. It'll win you a lot of games of football, but once again, they just haven't quite nailed them in the end. You know, they've really got them on their knees, and don't get me wrong, I mean, it is a fantastic result and a great win for the Eagles, but you know, you might have thought there might have been an avalanche somewhere here.
You've come recently from Geelong. They used to get 28-30, didn't you? This is good by the West Coast Eagles standards. Knocked down by Hines. It's not all doom and gloom as far as the Dockers are concerned. That's been a bad day, certainly, but they've been terrific. That'll test them to see if they can come back. Wilson, a centering kick down towards Lewis. Parker was there, Mildenhall behind. Ball has come at the ball so aggressively. Matera, well, he wanted to make amends before he got the footy that time. Ball stood up in the tackle. Metropolis, he's kicked a couple. Evans, they'll finish with a goal. Hines, 12 seconds before the final siren, slots it.
Second goal to David Hines, and now that puts a bit of breathing space in that scoreboard. 4 goals to 6, and they really have been just incessant with their pressure, and I know we talk about it a lot, and pressure really comes in 2 forms in a game of football. One is what the opposition do to you by really approaching you hard and not giving you an easy kick, and the second one is in how you receive that pressure. That is, it starts to wear you down, so it's a two-edged sword, and both of them aren't very pleasant.
151 plays 66. Burton in ruck, wide towards Turley, off to Dean Kemp, to right half forward, and Peter Wilson will get the last touch of the football as the West Coast Eagles, the reigning champions, say, hey, we're still here in a mighty performance in this history-making event. 151 to 66. It really was a wonderful effort. Brett Heady booted 5 goals. Jason Ball kicked 3. Tony Evans kicked 3. 2 to Don Pike, Daniel Metropolis, and Craig Turley. While the main scorer for Fremantle were Winston Abraham and John Hutton and Peter Miller. The 3 of them each kicked 2 goals. But the West Coast Eagles asserting their dominance. Peter Matera was a doubtful starter who came and he showed his class. Brett Heady played an absolute champion game today. And here he is with Dwayne Land. Dwayne?
Congratulations, Jobby. Certainly a good one. The boys seem to be pretty fired up for it.
Yeah, we've been setting ourselves all week for this, and I think our training's reflected that, and it's just great to come out and play well on the day.
I see you had a thigh bandage on during the week. Is that just a bit of a gimmick or a setup? Obviously, it wasn't didn't slow down too much.
I wish it was a gimmick. It was sort of pulling all during the week, and I could just feel it without sort of hurting it too badly. And again today, I felt it a couple of times, but just lucky enough to come through and get the 4 points.
And how'd you find the atmosphere today? You know, it was a big occasion. Did it feel like a bit of a final or something?
We couldn't believe it. We ran out, and I was just about ready to go back inside. It was that loud. Just the stands, I guess, just making a lot more atmosphere around the place, and looking forward to a lot more games here.
Yeah, well, congratulations again, mate. I think 4 or 5 goals, did well, and good form, keep it going.
Thanks, mate. See you later.
Yes, well done to Brett Heady. A massive 85-point win. The West Coast Eagles, 23-13, 151, are jubilant. So too are their fans. Fremantle at 9-12, 66.